G'day and welcome to Surfing Life TV, brought to you by our partners at Gotcha. We'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this Yugambeh speaking country and pay our respect to elders past, present and emerging. I'm Ray from Surfing Life, and our special guest this episode is none other than Mr. Pipeline himself, Gerry Lopez, and the Lord of Dogtown, Stacy Peralta. Gentlemen, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Good to be here.
Now, we saw your movie last night. Writer, director?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
And it's all about you, Gerry. Amazing, guys. I loved it.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy doing it?
I did. I enjoyed doing it with him.
This guy's a bit of fun, isn't he?
He is.
Well, he seems... I don't know him. I can't actually speak.
What did you like about the film?
Oh, man. Your lighting on the set.
You saw that.
I
I'm
just
so
was
glad you
like,
noticed that.
Oh, my goodness. I'm like saying to him, how did he get... Is there an overlay on that? Is there...
I'm really proud of the look we got on that.
Oh,
Yeah.
It is absolutely gorgeous. And people will be able to see this film. I know it's going to be online by the time this goes to air.
We designed the color spectrum to make it feel like the ocean.
Yeah.
Something very soothing.
Yeah.
And have depth to it and a little bit of mystery.
The depth was there.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, like they had this godlight in the background. You know how you get the rays from the
Yeah, it's real
clouds
pretty,
and the
huh?
hole in the
That's
cloud.
nice of you to notice that.
It was gorgeous and a beautiful edit. The intro edit was just like popping along, which I really enjoyed. And Gerry, I really enjoyed the intro that you gave, the humour that you brought to it, just apologising. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, actually, that was his idea, but we were doing the interviews. We created that set and the sounds on the sound stage, and invited all these people to come. And Stacy, nobody does it better.
Master
Interviewing
interviewer.
people, and it was fascinating for me watching all the other interviews, and we did few times with me, and at one
three
point,
times with Gerry. We did 1 week with everybody, everybody once, but Gerry we did 3 times.
Yeah.
Which is typical for a documentary film.
Follow
up.
Yeah.
But at one point, we kind of ran through everything that he was doing, and he said, "Well, you got anything else?" And I go,
But I had prodded him quite a few times.
Right.
Yeah, there were certain things I had to prod with him. And
You knew there was something.
Yes.
so I, just kind of came out with that, and everybody goes, "Where the heck's this going?" And
I loved it.
just ran through it. I never thought we'd ever use it, but then I saw the first edit and went, "Oh my God!"
But when the thing is though, he answers it with the premise of the film, which is he says that, yoga and surfing have been the delicate balance of my entire life, the yin and yang of my entire life. And it was like when I heard him say that, I went, bingo.
It's
We
perfect.
have the lead into the film.
Absolutely.
Perfect. States it right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that is the yin and yang. You said that, the mountains, that's the quiet, and then the ocean's not quiet. But boy, you can get some quiet in the ocean, can't you?
Totally.
I kind of like it. And even in a crowd, you still can find your own space.
Yeah.
And you know that if you just let it go, the wave's going to come to you. That's what I find anyway. I mean, goodness, I live in the most crowded coastline, possibly the world.
Yeah.
And 24/7, not like winter in Hawaii on the North Shore. 24/7 is barely a down day, which is fine. You come to peace with it, don't you?
We saw an interesting thing though on the way here. Kira was breaking a little bit. There was maybe 20 people out. But we saw one guy in a foil board riding waves that no one wanted.
No one touched, yeah.
No one touches, no one could have touched.
Exactly.
Riding and riding and riding. And Gerry and I are just looking at this going, it's a eureka moment. Because he's finding something that no one else wants, getting in no one's way, taking something that no one wants.
Yeah.
It's genius.
It's only an issue for me and it happens a bit when they're right next to the rock at the alley, taking off with everyone else.
That's
and I'm
true.
like going, because these
That's
can be
dangerous.
quite unpredictable.
Absolutely.
But those beautiful rollers, and we've actually got between Kira and the alley, kilometres of of ocean that is perfect for foiling.
Yeah.
Starts off with a little chip shot in and goes very full, and the swell rolls.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Moving to the Gold Coast, are we?
A trip might be in order next year.
Yeah.
You know?
Is this trip the same as the very first time you came? No opportunity to do much surfing, but
Yes. We did get a little opportunity
Cool.
yesterday, but we got more. I got beat up, so Gerry got some good action yesterday. We both foiled.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say I did. He did. I didn't. I tried.
You
but-
try. Yes. Is the endeavour of doing something actually doing something? I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Gerry, I wasn't surprised to your answer of a question last night at the film show when someone said, what was your favourite wave, Pipeline or G-Land? I kind of had an inkling because I've watched so many Storm Riders, the section in that one, and you had so many sections where you were like, G-Land, and where I could live and no one would touch me. What was it like being in G-Land the very first time?
Well, the first time it was a joke. We could never figure out where the lineup was.
Yeah.
Because we come off the boats and it really distorts your perception of a break, and you don't really understand. Well, especially with a break like G-Land, which you're sitting there and you think you get a good wave, and you think you're in the right spot, and then you just look up the line and go, well, that looks better. And that's the story of the life. Grass is greener, and so let's just go up there. And before you know it, somebody goes, hey, where'd the boat go? And you turn around and oh my God, you can't even see the boat. You've gone all the way around that point.
Yeah.
And then we better paddle back, and it was really frustrating because the waves, we got some good waves, but we couldn't figure it out. And it wasn't until we went on the beach that you could see, okay, that looks like a spot where you can start from. And that ended up being money trees.
Yes,
and
right.
Then, that looks like a peak down there, and that ended up being the launching pad. And from there, we branched out and
Different sections.
moved up
Yeah.
and down the line.
Now, when you were there in the jungle, have any encounters with any tigers?
I did. I was one of the fortunate ones that the tiger came on that when everybody left. Yeah, he didn't want to have anything to do when the gang was there. Of
course.
And that was on the trip where everyone went back to Kuta, and I said, I don't want to go back.
Sure.
I want to stay. And I stayed, and the next morning was, the night before, the tiger had come, and there was his pug mark on the beach. And I went, whoa. And later that day, Peter McCabe and Sparky Longley from Rainbow Sandals and another friend from Maui came, and all night that tiger was meowing in the jungle.
Wow.
At quite a high volume.
Did it rumble through you?
It did. It was,
Because that vibration.
Yeah. And Sparky had sliced open the
goosebumps
back of
thinking
his
about it.
head
Yeah, right.
that afternoon when we went out for a surf. And
Do you think the lion smelled it?
Oh, for sure.
definitely.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we were up in the treehouse, and I was hearing that cat just, and I'm going, hey, Sparky, maybe you should go sleep down on the ground. He said, I'm not going down there. And kept us kind of up all night, which was a good thing because we were worried about, the head wound. Of
course.
He hit his head pretty good. But that tiger was out there. And they told us, the Jungle Patrol said there were 2 Sumatran tigers that lived in that preserve. And that was one of them.
And am I correct? Have they sadly been hunted out now?
I'm
Not sure?
probably certain they have.
Yeah, I thought they had been.
Yeah.
And then I had this half inkling that I heard someone said, there is maybe 1 or 2 that have survived, but good chance they're all gone.
Yeah, I mean, they were quite prolific at one time, before our time. But
As
I
was
don't
the
know
hunting, though.
where you got that picture.
We begged, borrowed, and stole.
Yeah.
As you have to.
You have to.
Now, Stacy, you won't remember me. However, I remember you.
Did we meet?
Briefly.
Oh, okay.
I was a graphic designer at an agency that looked after a surf shop in Brisbane.
Okay.
Good Time Surf and Sail.
Okay.
Do you remember coming to Good Time with the Bones Brigade?
In '88?
Yes.
Probably.
And what Tony describes, and I already knew this before he actually chucked it on social about 6 months ago, the worst ramp ever. Do you remember that ramp?
Gosh.
In the car park?
There are so many
So
worst
many of
ramps
those.
ever.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
so many of those.
This one was portable because then they
No,
dragged
they were
it.
all portable. The portable ones were the worst ones.
They were shocking. The steppy, weird
Yes.
transition. And so Tony put it up on social media. He said the guys were complaining. They've said they've had some bad trips or whatever,
Yeah.
bad ramps, but this was the single worst one they'd been on.
Yeah.
So they dragged this thing from Wollongabba to Garden City and they put it up on the car park, the rooftop car park of the shopping centre. And all the boys are doing, backside, front side, ollies, bunch of this stuff. So nothing too radical because my...
Is this where Tony did a McTwist?
Yes!
I do remember that.
And at that point then I
on
went...
a ramp that you can't do a McTwist on. Yes.
At that point
I
I
do remember
turned
that.
to my friend and said, that's why he's the best in the world
Yeah.
and the best he'll ever be. Because
No,
these guys are all going
it was-
unreal.
It was ridiculous. It was like getting tubed on a river wave. It was just ridiculous.
It's the Waimea, dig it out, and getting barreled. Or doing a full rope.
Yeah, but it
on
also goes to show that Tony never went to a demo without failing to impress everybody.
Everyone, absolutely.
He was dead set on getting everybody there to go, wow.
Yeah. What the?
Every time.
Wow.
Yeah, he was dead set on that.
It was.
Yeah.
And what I liked, what he said, this is what he said on his post. He said, just said to him, listen, it doesn't matter. Stop complaining. We're here to skate.
Yeah.
Just do your best for them.
Yeah.
It's not for us.
Yes.
It's for them.
He did that. He's still like that. He
Yeah.
still does that.
And so funny.
That was a really great trip. We had incredible crowds in the places that we went. All over the place. There was some other place, I think close to here, where there was a
Pizzey Park.
really good ramp, and there was thousands of people surrounding this thing. Yeah, that was a big trip.
Yeah, it was a banger. And I just remember, I remember skating with Cab all the way down to the Chinese store. Like, we're about to do the demo. He's like, I'm starving. And he's like, does anyone know where to eat? And we're like, we'll take you. We all skated down, got Chinese, and that was heaps of fun. So I remember it. I had a poster signed by you, and I'm dirty that I lost it. It's just what happens, when 30 years later, you're sort of like, I was like, yeah, it was crazy times. What you were saying when I actually asked the question about, do you still surf or did you keep surfing? That was my question.
Yeah.
last
That's right.
night.
That's right.
Yeah. And because I was like, because surfing was the first love. Now, I grew up a lot of my time in Brisbane. So traveling to the coast, it's not like you go for the morning surf. So we discovered skateboarding to do exactly what you did.
Yeah.
And that was in the era when, skateboarding had become something.
Okay.
But for me, it was just about getting that same feeling, the weightlessness. When you come off the top of a ramp, it's the same as come off the top of a lip.
Right.
So it's that weightlessness I find is the...
Well, also, we were practicing our techniques and our styles and the whole thing. We were trying to use it as a way to become better at surfing. So you do a cutback on a skateboard, and it's the same body movement.
Absolutely.
And so that's what we were
sliding
doing.
sideways.
But what was so strange is we were the junior surf team on the Zephyr team, okay?
Okay.
The older guys who were the better surfers, they didn't touch skateboards. Just our generation did. It was really weird. We were hardcore into it, and we would have actually looked at the older guys getting on skateboards as like, what are they doing on it? It was just such a weird thing. It only affected us.
Yeah.
Didn't affect those guys at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now Stacey, did you actually skate vert?
Oh, hell yes.
Cool. And you still skating vert?
I can, but I don't have good parks near my house.
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
But yeah, I still do.
but it's good to be in company of all goofy footers.
Well,
Even living on the
he's
Gold
only
Coast.
sometimes a goofy footer.
Yeah. And you still can't get the switch, Gerry?
Impossible.
You don't like going regular foot on surfboards? You can't do it?
I can't do it in a total spaz.
Really?
You know, I can do it on the kiteboard.
There you go.
I can do it
Snowboarding?
on the wing foil board.
Yeah.
How long did that take you to learn on the wing foil?
Well,
To
in
switch.
windsurfing,
You had to do
You're
it
always
there.
switching.
and
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
we were at Hokipa was starboard tack, so I'm riding the waves regular foot, and it was just always like, this is terrible.
It never became comfortable?
Never. Well, I mean, it became comfortable, but I was never any good at it.
How about foiling now?
I'm very comfortable
You are?
regular
Gun
foot.
switch.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Did that take you a long time though?
No.
Really?
Because that comes from windsurfing. Because it's more effective
Oh, okay.
to have,
Okay.
To switch it up.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, for skateboarding, because you're doing fakie a lot, you learn to go the other direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. But you don't learn to turn the other direction.
No.
Going straight's different, but when you start moving,
Turning, yeah.
then it becomes a really different story.
Yeah.
That's when it really becomes like you got to put it together in your brain.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people now talking about that's the evolution of surfing.
Well, that's where skateboarders have been going for the last 10 years.
Well,
is they don't want a stance. Like Rodney Mullen started it 20 years ago. He goes, I don't want to be goofy or regular. I want to be able to do everything both ways. And he taught himself that.
But he's a genius.
And that's what all the young kids are doing in the street now. They want to do
course.
everything so that they're ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's really a lot of work.
Yeah. But surfing, even more so.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah. There's
Because you've
been-
got something chasing you.
Well, plus you have yeah, but also skateboards are symmetrical. Surfboards aren't.
Correct.
You have fins on one side.
Correct. So you've got to get up the
Yes.
opposite way.
Yes.
Unless you're trying to switch in the wave. But
Yes.
as I said, you've got something chasing you down.
Yeah.
You know, there's that whole skateboarding, surfing thing, and they go, "Oh, we only run photos of things made like a stair ollie or whatever." And I'm like going, "Yeah, but you can hit those stairs or that rail 1,000 times if your body can handle it
Yes.
to make that move."
Yeah.
Whereas surfing, you can't hit.
You can only do it if you got the wave.
and you can only do it once
Yeah.
because the wave is different
Yeah.
every single time.
Yeah, it's true.
And that's the wave pool. I was pretty stoked to see that Kelly went, "You're going to be the first person to ride the left on his pool." How was that experience?
It was great.
Do it again?
Done it again many times. And
You ready to buy a house and post up?
Well,
Not quite.
not quite, but yeah, it's a good wave. And actually, in my opinion, the right's better because
Sure.
that's the one they built first. But the left's pretty doggone good.
That's right.
Yeah.
Better by increments, eh?
Well, I mean, it's going my way.
Yeah. Oh, listen, get me on my backhand. I do better on my backhand anyway, so I live on the Gold Coast.
Okay.
Right.
Good point.
It's all about the practice, isn't it? Where you get to practice.
Yeah.
So far more dynamic.
Yeah, but think there's going to be a surfing champion at some point that's going to come out of a wave pool. When that happens, it's going to be a pretty profound thing.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean, it's
even out
been
of a rip-
prophesied for a while, hasn't
But
it?
it may even come out of a river wave. Who knows? But some kid somewhere that has never even touched the ocean is going to be the next champion. It's going to probably happen.
I'm not so sure on that one. They'll have to get in the ocean because ocean knowledge.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
They
But he'll
will.
have
that's
his
where they
start.
start.
He will
the
have
start
started,
with-
though, is
Yeah,
what I'm
okay,
saying.
that I can go with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows what's going to happen?
No one knows.
Yeah.
No one.
And who knows where these wave pools are going?
Yeah.
They're probably
Again.
this could be just the start.
Who made the comment about not being anxious in the wave pool? Did you make that comment? No, I'm as anxious as all get up. I've been down the wave pool in Melbourne.
There's no tension among the surfers, but there's tremendous tension, self-tension.
Internally,
Because, you know that wave's coming. This is your chance. This is your wave. And you're just hoping
Oh yeah.
that you don't blow it.
I get more worked up in a wave pool than I do because I'm just like, I'll blow with the takeoff and just get another wave. There's more coming. Even in a crowded lineup, I know there's a chance. And I mean, that's what I think so addictive about surfing is the dopamine. It's like there's a chance that you'll get the wave of the day, you'll get a dub up, you get a big keg, whatever. And that's what is the addicting thing, isn't it? That random opportunity.
Yeah, but we were talking about this morning. The problem is when you get that wave and you kick out of it, you immediately want to do
Another
it again. And that's where it gets so difficult. That's where surfing becomes so difficult because you're so charged up chemically from that experience.
Yeah,
You can't just sit down and be, I got what I needed and I'm calm. No, it's like you get so riled.
But this is a practice form. This is very similar to yoga. What you're talking about, I think, is very achievable because I've achieved it. That's what I do. I go to Snapper and I go, one wave, one good wave. And I'll finish that one good wave and I go, that's it, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I'll
That's good.
prone out, up from that wave. Like I'll finish my last turn, prone out, go to the beach, satisfied. Because it's all about the expectation and where it sits.
That's enlightenment.
Where you managing, in my opinion, managing expectation is the key to happiness.
That's a
managing your partners, your friends, especially your own business partners, all of that. If all of those expectations are managed, then you never let down.
Yeah.
And I manage mine quite heavily.
That's good.
Doesn't mean I don't get out there and get frustrated.
Yes.
Because sometimes even getting that one can be. But I'll pull be looking at going for an hour and I'll pull it up at half an hour because I've got a cracker.
Yeah.
I'm good, I'm satisfied.
That's great.
So
That's really good.
now movies, let's talk movies. This one's amazing. Stacey, you've done a bunch now, haven't you?
Yeah, quite, yeah, handful.
Favourite one? Other than this one, we know this one's your favourite, but other than...
No, I don't, because they're each a unique experience. Each of them are really unique. Each of them are a discovery.
Yeah.
When you set out to do a film, you really never know what it's going to look like. You have a feeling of it, and you're trying to bring that feeling to life. You want it to sound a certain way, look a certain way, and this particular film was a challenge because Gerry's life is so big, and the chapters in his life don't necessarily parallel each other. They're unique chapters. His Pipeline experience is totally different from his G-Land experience. Pipeline was like a New York stage where there's millions of photographers on the beach in a stadium, and he's performing for people in the world. G-Land is remote. There's nobody there except monkeys.
Yeah, right.
And he doesn't know the wave as well as Pipeline, and it's a whole different thing, and it's adventure surfing. Yeah. And then he has his Hollywood thing, and then he has his shaping thing and his yoga thing. So how do you put all those together into a narrative life? And that's what was challenging. And so there's a lot of...
Well, challenge was met.
Well, I used a lot of graphics in the film to connect things, and we just tried to do a lot of creative things in the film to weave his various chapters together, seamlessly as good as we could.
Well,
but he's got a big life.
You nailed it.
He's got a big life.
And I'm very critical, by the way. I'm quite. Well, I was actually was sitting in we've got a little infrared sauna this morning, and I was saying to my wife, we are probably the most critical people I know, and I loved it. I thought you guys nailed it. One other one I reckon you nailed, only because it came from my childhood, was The Search for Animal Chin.
Oh my God! Of all the things you would mention, Jesus!
I knew you would hate it. Oh. To me, what I loved the most about it is you went, "This is skateboarding. Stop being so serious."
Well, that's what we did it for.
And you nailed it.
That's the reason. That was the absolute reason we made that film. We also made that film because at that time we all started to make a lot of money. The company was making a lot of money. I started making money, and all the skaters I sponsored were making money. And we realized, hey guys, we gotta remind ourselves why we're doing this. This is not why we're doing it. It's nice to have this, and it enables us to do it.
Sure.
But we're really doing it because we love skateboarding.
Absolutely.
And fortunately, that message did come across.
100%.
Yeah, it did. So,
The other one
but it's still so corny.
That's the
It
best
is
thing
the
about it. But that is
corniest
the
thing.
best thing about it. Because it's just not... I just find when a fun sport gets taken too seriously, you know what I mean? Like, I love the serious side of it as well.
No, but you're right about that. You gotta go back to the sweetness of it.
It's the fun.
Yeah.
And the corny lines and it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. There's comedies made like that. Like, I saw it not as a hardcore skate movie. I saw it as a comedy. And that was fun.
It's not nice to know you're capable of producing such corn. And when I see that, I go, God, did I really do that? Am I that bad?
No, that good, that brave. Now, the other one I really loved was the Bones Brigade. Was
The
it
documentary?
The autobiography? Yeah.
Oh, great.
Beautiful.
I
put
really
together.
like, that was nice to
And
me.
I felt like you took that and you put it into what you did with Gerry's. I think that was...
Yeah, I learned a lot from that film that enabled me to make Gerry's film. Because
And you've stepped up another level, I believe.
yeah, what I learned in that film is how to make a documentary film without relying on voiceover. And so when I went into Gerry's film, I went, I don't want voiceover, because voiceover is a crutch.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's a weakness. And I had it in Writing Giants, and I had it in Dogtown, and I didn't want it in this film.
Well,
That's
it
a lot
was good
hard.
in Dogtown, though.
Well, maybe so, but nonetheless, I didn't want it in this film. But to not have it, you really have to work hard, because you have to connect the dots with just the voices you have. When you have a documentary film where you have the ability to write your way out of a situation, it's way easier.
Oh, yeah.
With his film, I couldn't,
Which was perfect. So Gerry, with all the... now, people would ask you, what session's been your best session? You have too many waves and too many sessions to ever be able to say, I can't do that, and I haven't surfed as much as you have. Film parts, though, even though there's been a lot, there's still not too many that you can't decide. Have you got a favourite film part? Not your movie, but parts in other films that you went, I was really happy with how that came out, how I was portrayed in that.
No. 5 Summer Stories.
Do you know, I was talking to one of the local Burley board riders, and he goes, you ask Gerry that question, and he's going to say 5 Summer Stories.
Yeah.
Oh, how could he not? I mean, God.
It's classic.
It's just, there's never been a piece like that in a surf movie. There really hasn't.
No.
Well,
There was a song named after him in that film.
I like the music that went with it, It just...
Big part
Yeah.
of anything is the music.
But we had never seen slow motion like that before, ever.
Absolutely.
Do you know what's amazing? They shot the same slow motion of Jeff Hackman. They never used it.
Wow.
Because when Jack went into the library to find that footage of you, he got it of Jeff as well. Oh. And I don't think they ever used it in that film. So you were the only one that was given that treatment. Wow. Really interesting, because they made a choice at some point. Okay, we're going to give this all to Gerry. It was interesting.
Yeah.
They had super slow motion of, Jeff surfing Sunset. You could see all his muscles and all that stuff, but they didn't use it.
Man, you can do some learning watching slow-mo footage, can't you?
And, we had no idea. I had no idea till we went in and saw the film with everybody else, and it was the first time they showed a surf movie in a regular theater.
Yeah.
Before that, all surf movies were shown in high school auditoriums. Yeah. And, this was a theater that I grew up in as a little kid watching movies. And we went in, and it came on, and it's like, holy cow. And afterwards, everybody went, wow, did you know it was going to be like that? No.
Was it a buzz?
Yeah.
Did it have the same emotion as dropping into a big pitted pipe?
Well, I don't know about that, but I mean, it was
Like
was a buzz,
Yeah.
because it was a good movie, and it wasn't just about me. I was buzzing about everybody else. Cool. That first cut of that movie, I always felt was the very best version of it. And what happened was, over the years as it changed, Greg said they lost all that
They don't have the
footage.
original cut. There's no original cut. Back then, they never thought of a future.
No.
Yeah.
But that's how you were.
Yeah.
You just didn't even know that this thing was going anywhere.
But the difference with that film is that film was promoted really early. They started promoting that film we knew, whoa, this film is coming. And the graphic for it was really spectacular.
Cool.
It was really unusual. The title, 5 Summer Stories. And McGilvery and Friedman were such big filmmakers then that everybody was like, oh, this is going to be it. So it was a really big deal. I was 13.
Yeah.
Saw it at the Santa Monica Civic Auditorium. I mean, 3,000 surfers in there. They were going crazy.
It's crazy.
And again, we'd never seen footage of that slow-mo of Gerry. So, you see the droplets, heat splashing and blowing off his hair and stuff. It was incredible.
So, I mean, we're starting to see somewhat of a revival of gathering tribes together to watch films, like last night. And
They want to be there.
Everyone wants to be there.
Yeah.
And I think if this next generation can not pull the trigger on dumping things on Instagram, then we're going to be better for it.
No, that's not the trick. They got to tell stories.
I 100%
have to
agree.
do.
But you've got to have all the content.
Yeah, but
in the bag.
More importantly, you got to tell stories.
I agree.
People are contented out.
Completely.
I mean, all we do every day is look on our phones. We just see exclamation point.
Completely.
I think people want to be told stories. That's why I think they're responding to the film.
100%.
It's a story, and you get to invest yourself in this film and in Gerry's life.
Absolutely. And that's, again, that's what we as media people need to do, is tell
stories.
Deep stories and not just the 2-second thing.
And also share some of the culture that we all know and love and connect the dots. That's what I think people are liking about the film, is Gerry's life parallels the history of modern surfing.
Sure.
So a lot of the dots are put together and they can go, oh, that's where that came from. Oh, Conrad Kana. I didn't know about him at Ala Moana. I didn't know about Lightning Bolt preceding Quicksilver and things like that. I didn't know. I mean, people are going crazy about the G-Land section because they didn't know exactly what had happened. Yeah. They didn't know, Bill Boyum had told Gerry, Uluwatu's not a wave. So these are really big moments, and they also didn't know that it was so difficult for those guys to figure out how to get over there.
Yeah.
It puts pieces of our culture together so we understand where a lot of this stuff comes from.
Absolutely.
I know. I learned that from Dogtown. When we did Dogtown, people were like, I had no idea. I had no idea that was the drought that created the empty pools.
Yeah. Which was the coolest thing.
Yeah. So but this is our world.
Yeah.
And I think it's helpful to us to understand it.
We are kind of in a privileged position where we sit in the history of the two sports, skating and surfing, and that is that we still have the grandfathers of the sport with us. Do you know what I mean? So we can get all that information. Sorry not to be offensive,
the tribal
Jerry,
elders.
Tribal elders, exactly. And godfathers, tribal elders, and
old blokes.
Old blokes, yeah, we're all old blokes.
It's important.
But we're in a beautiful spot, because if we don't grab all these stories now, they will be lost.
They will be lost.
And we're at a beautiful stage that cameras are light, they're inexpensive. I mean, you've got the chopper shot over the final ramp for Animal Chin, and you're spending tens of thousands of dollars to get those shots. Now you're spending $2,000, you throw a drone up, and the shots are 10 times better.
Yeah,
we're in a really privileged position.
Without a doubt.
Grabbing the equipment, it's accessible to the everyman. And now what you're talking about, telling stories, if they can nail that, we're good to go.
Yeah.
We're going to see some amazing stuff. But storytelling,
that's it.
There's a bit of a loss, They call it surf porn, don't they, when it's just...
Well, the thing is, it's really easy to stand on a beach with a camera or stand at the bottom of a railing and have skateboarders just go down, but do nothing with it.
Just
it's
show it.
Much harder to tell a story because you got to really think it out. And that's hard. It's not easy to do.
No. But it's important.
It's really important. It's super important.
Gerry, next on the cards for you? You've always got something. What's next?
Go surfing. Imagine that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. No, it's, at this point in my life, I've found that that's really what I want to do more than anything is just go surfing.
How about that?
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Well, I've,
The desire.
it's
Yeah,
been
that's
this
right.
winding road, and I 30 years up in the mountains snowboarding, and suddenly I want to go back to the beach.
The ocean always draws you back, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you
does.
know what's really remarkable, and I've said this to him a lot in his presence, is I don't know if there's a lot of his peers from his generation that are still learning how to do new forms of surfing. I mean, Gerry's learning to do all the different forms of foil surfing, not just, prone foiling, but wing foiling, and he's riding river waves. I mean, and he's done the SUP, the toe surfing, the windsurfing. He's really experienced all forms of surfing. And he says, I want to go surfing. I think that he wants to go surfing because he wants to learn and master these new forms.
Sure.
And he's still doing it. Still.
How's it traveling with a foil, though?
It's
Not
easier.
so easy.
I think it's
Is it? 'Cause
they
it's shorter?
pack easy.
Yeah, right.
Well, the boards are small,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they all come apart.
They're less likely to break too, aren't they? Are they?
Yeah.
Have you ever broken any boxes?
Ripped a box out?
Yeah, have you ever ripped a box out?
not yet.
You haven't done it? No stress cracks or anything?
Yeah, a few cracks,
But no?
not.
Even when you hit pretty hard?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good
They're
to
pretty
know.
solid.
That's good to know.
Because all the performance is in the foil, it's not in the board. So the board can be
Right.
pretty rock solid, yeah?
Yeah, but it's a lot of times, you run out of water because
Yeah.
you got quite a draft, and especially if you're down.
Yeah.
And I've run into the reef full blast so many times, and just ass over tea kettle.
You haven't had the thing tomahawk though, have you?
No.
Okay.
But I get up thinking, that's got to have broke the foil because it's all, it's carbon fiber.
Sure.
It's not steel. And I get up and there's a little scratch on it, and I go, wow. that's
Carbon's
it.
good, huh?
Yeah.
There's something in carbon, I think, for the future,
Yeah.
especially in surfing.
Yeah.
We did a board test in Bali in August, and one of the boards was a full carbon wrap,
Yeah.
and it went really well.
Oh, carbon's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, the Airbuses are carbon.
Yeah, exactly. There's something in it. Guys, we could do this for the next 3 days. I'd love to. We might get tired. We might need something to eat, but we're pretty much out of time. And
Okay.
before you... I know, it went quick, didn't it?
Yeah.
Before you guys go, we've got a couple of little gifts for you from our partners and from Surfing Life. So
Wow.
here's a drink cooler from Fantasy Surf Sessions. Now, I
Wow.
heard, Gerry, you love your Fantasy Surfer. This is a different company that runs their own one, so it's kind of fun.
Well,
This
thanks.
is for a little can of drink?
Can of drink.
Or drink?
Any kind of beverage you'd like in it.
Okay.
Here's a subscription to Fuel TV,
Oh, wow.
so you can
Wow,
watch it
look
on
at that.
demand.
Nice. God,
Um,
we leave with a gift bag.
Yeah, you do. Got to have a Surfing Life
Oh,
magazine.
man.
Yeah.
Keep print going, hey? Like your book.
Beauty, mate.
Now, I did get your book from the guys at Patagonia. Thanks, Patagonia. And I'm the revised edition, and I'm burning through. I'm a quarter of a way or more through it, and I only got it like 3 days ago. Really good read. I'm enjoying it a lot. So thank you very much. Now, guys, here's some. These are board rack mounts like you see here.
Is this a business of yours?
No, these are guys from Canada.
Oh,
Narwhal.
wow.
Narwhal
Where
doing-
in Canada?
Canadians.
Canadians.
Are they
Imagine that.
surfers?
Yeah, surfers,
They have to be.
snowboarders,
These are
skateboarders.
surfboard racks.
That's surfboard racks, exactly.
Wow.
So you just slot that in your fin box,
Fantastic.
they hang up, beautiful as. And from where at Surf Watches, here's a,
Oh,
Watch.
my.
What?
yeah,
Look at that.
What
They-
do we do to deserve this?
I know.
nothing, just turn up and be friendly. Well done. So they
Wow.
hook up to Magic Seaweed, you press the button, it gives you your tides.
Is that
and
it?
That's it there, look at that.
Wow. And are they waterproof?
Yep, you surf in them.
Damn.
Oh, look, and hang on. Here's a tote bag to put them all in from Fuel TV as
Hey,
well.
can we come back tomorrow for
Yeah, sure.
for another?
We'll have a new things tomorrow.
Thank you, mate.
Man,
This is great.
My pleasure.
I told you we were going to love Australia.
I've never ever been given something like this, for an interview. So this is really nice.
No, Surfing Life, we like to look after our guests.
Damn.
Because you're like helping us.
Gosh.
So here's a little thank you, really, from us.
Thank you very much. And we'd like to thank the Australian surf community, man.
Yeah.
We have just we're in the middle of our tour right now, and we have had such a great experience.
Awesome.
I mean, a really great experience.
Awesome.
It's been really nice, and the film's really connecting, and people are coming up to us, and it's really nice to be with the tribes.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And every different beach we go to show it, it's a different tribe, but
yeah.
all the same nonetheless.
Absolutely.
So,
You never know. You make a movie and,
yes.
they
Hopefully
don't like
it
it or are they not? And I always felt that we had the best chance down here.
Yeah, right.
And he actually felt the opposite. He said, "Oh man,
I was nervous.
I don't know. That's a critical audience. They."
They are.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried that you guys are tough, man.
Yeah.
You're a tough culture.
Yeah, if you go to a band, we have to pull it up soon, but if you go to a band, like you go see Bob Dylan, okay, Bob Dylan's coming out, he's retouring, and Australians, like, no offense to the Americans, but we know, you turn up and you're like, yes, Bob, this is going to be amazing, and no matter what, it's amazing. Whereas Australians are going, wonder how he's going to be now.
Right.
Is he going to be any good still?
Yeah, but also there's a spiritual side to this film that I was worried that some may perceive it as soft, potentially. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know if it would play in Australia. And in fact, it's been the key that people have been talking about.
There's actually a shift in Australia.
So that's been really rewarding.
Yeah, that's cool.
Really rewarding to see that.
That's awesome. Guys, thanks for coming in. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And guys, thanks for watching, and tune in again next time.
My first time, my mom shoved me into a wave. I thought, wow, I'm home. Yoga is the foundation of my development as a surfer. The pipeline was fierce.
Most of the people have got their hearts in their throat. And there was Gerry Lopez meditating.
Gerry's just this mellow guy on shore, and then this tiger shark out in the water.
Gerry Lopez went from that pure source to being the most commercialized surfer in the world.
Losing focus is easy. So I went down to the southern tip of Java. I found the best waves of my life. This was the beginning of me and the waves becoming one.